Hey everyone, it's ゚shops. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a setup video in my 2024 Hobonichi cousin. Also, disclaimer, if you see hot Cheeto fingers, I apologize. It's almost midnight and I had a little bit of a late night snack. So in this video, I will be going over how I set up my cousin, some ideas that I had or whatever, or like where they came from. I don't think I had an original idea at all while setting up this planner. I did watch a whole bunch of videos on YouTube, especially from Helen of the Coffee Monsters Co. and a few other people on YouTube and Instagram where they kind of show up their process, and I gained inspiration from there. So yeah, I will be inserting clips somewhere in the video as I'm talking. I didn't want to just film like a voiceover of me laying down the process for everything because I felt like that kind of would have been like a boring video. So I figured why not just talk through the planner, insert clips wherever I need them to be, and then we could just kind of have a chit chat. So, all right, so the first thing I want to talk about is actually this cover. So this cover was initially for, you could tell that it's so big, like it is not for this planner, but this I got on Amazon because I thought it would fit. But this is for the Hobonichi Hon cover or planners, and I figured because I was like, oh, they're both A5 sized, it must fit. No, because I know the Hon has like a thicker cover, so that was my fault. I felt like if I had like a cover on my Hobonichi and used the clear cover as the cover for that, that might have worked. But yeah, so there is a little bit of spacing, which doesn't bother me too much just because I like that it makes my planner kind of heavier and it closes. Like, it's heavy enough to keep my planner closed. You'll understand why in a little bit, but I know the Midori Codex planner cover is better for the Hobonichi cousin, but they are completely sold out. I cannot find them anywhere, and I did put a notification on ゚pens when they are back in stock. So if ゚pens ever decides to like restock it within this year, I will definitely pick one up. So once again, it is an authentic Hobonichi cover, but it is for the Hon brand, as you can see here. So that was my bad. Now, as for decorating the cover itself, I do have a couple of stickers from Moody Cats Design Co. And then this sticker is from Plenty of Planning. I do have a few more die cuts that I want to put on the cover itself, but I felt like keeping it minimal just for now and adding along as the year progresses would have been a cute idea, just because I felt like it's almost like a memory keeping kind of thing that I could do, like decorating the front part and then decorating the back with whatever die cuts or stickers that I find. I do want to keep it on the same color scheme though, and my color scheme for this planner, at least for decorating it, not necessarily in my weekly planning or my daily planning, but decorating it is on a brown color palette. So, and then going inside, so I think I gotta take this out. Ooh, I don't like, oh my god, my poor planner, please. But yeah, so this is without the cover. And then going inside, I do have a vellum that I purchased from this shop here. I don't remember what it's called, so I'll definitely just put it in the video. And I wanted to keep the theme of the brown color palette, like I said, but I also have been really loving vellum papers, so I really wanted to print one out to kind of like cover the front page or like the dashboard of my planner, and then like my cover, if that makes any sense. So yeah, I have a piece of vellum here, and then we get into my dashboard. So I am Yoongi obsessed. He is my favorite member of BTS, and I've been like falling back in love with him this year. Like, it's just been so bad. I get emotional every night nowadays just because they're all in the army now, and I can't look forward to like any of their posts really, just because they're not online very often. So yeah, your girl is a little sad, and I guess this is kind of like a vision board, but I would rather call it like a mood board, just because I just picked out some things that I thought would look really good together and things that I like. And like I said, the color scheme is brown, so I wanted to pull in all kinds of shades of brown. And I did edit some of the pictures, but for the most part, I did find these pictures on Pinterest. I'm not selling them or anything, they're just for my planner, so I felt like it was fine to do. But yeah, so I think I kind of messed up here. I think I should have thought through how I wanted to create kind of like this dashboard here. But the washi, these washi's are from Hobby Lobby, and unfortunately it was a little bit difficult trying to like put this vellum paper on the planner itself. It was very difficult for some reason, and I did cut this vellum so that it only took up this part of the planner. Let me see, because I think the video will be on this side, so I'll put my planner on this side. But about like this much of the planner, and then you see this strip like that binds the pages together. I think it's maybe like a 1/2 inch. I did take off 1/2 inch of the A5 size just so that I had some room to put it on my planner with some washi tape. And the reason why I did that is mostly for aesthetic reasons, just because I didn't want to glue anything on, but also makes it a little bit easier if I decide to change out the vellum if I wanted to. As for this page, this is on for the rest of the year. Yeah, I didn't do a really good job on like finalizing what I really wanted to do and kind of like sizing the pictures or any of that. I kind of just went with the flow, and unfortunately there are some things I wish I did differently, but we're just gonna move on from it. It is what it is. And I figured if I find some more stickers, like decorative stickers like this flower that you see here and the binder clip, I could just add it along the border. So anyway, like I said, I did find all of these pictures off of Pinterest, and I edited some of the pictures so that it kind of had a brown color palette. And so I picked three of my favorite pictures of Yoongi. This is my all-time, like this picture of him on the corner is my all-time favorite picture of him. I think he just looks so handsome, but also he has almost kind of like a balance between masculinity and femininity, which I really, really love about this photo. His long hair, his blush cheeks, his profile, just everything about him in that picture I'm in love with. So I definitely had to use it in my planner. And then of course, a picture of him smoking a cigarette from Haegun's music video. Definitely had to put that in too, because he looks so good. And then there's a little cute one. I think this is from PTD. I'm not sure if it's PTD LA or PTD Las Vegas, but there's that. And then of course I picked some like scenery or like what do you call that, just like aesthetic photos. But I have one of the moon, and then some of clouds, and then a cat, which I love cats, and then a photo of BTS, as well as some quotes. One says prioritize your peace, and another one says go to sleep, dumbass. Which, if you guys have been watching my videos for a long time, you know that I struggle a lot with my sleep, and I felt like that was just the perfect quote to use for this year. Now we get into the, I guess, like cover page. I would call it a cover page, but it's just the page that says like Hobonichi Techo 2024. And this was actually an envelope that I had from ゚pens Planning that I kept in my scrapbooking pile for I think a couple of years now. And the reason why I kept it was because I knew I was going to use it in some way. I just wasn't sure when, and when I was looking through my pile to kind of like decorate for the year, I saw it, cut it up, and put it on my planner. It's just so pretty. ゚ does an amazing job with hand lettering, and I love the floral stickers that she uses. I did put a little bit of washi to kind of hold the edges down on the page, and the craft paper goes along with my color scheme of like brown, So yeah, I just thought it was like perfect and I had to use it. So that is the cover page. Like I said, I just kind of cut it up and sized it so that it would fit on the page itself. Okay, now this next part that I'm going to show you guys was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do. So this is a year at a glance, and these are free printables from the Coffee Monsters Co.'s Facebook group. And I did size them so that they would fit inside of the planner. But I put them on so crooked, and it took a long time for me to kind of figure out where to place them. And I even used like a pencil. I tried to like size things appropriately, and I ripped up my planner a few times. It was just a hot mess, and I was sad about it. But I figured because they were free, and I do love the Coffee Monsters Co. She inspired a lot of, I feel like a lot of how people use the Hobonichi cousin nowadays. And I kind of wanted to make an ode to her just because she definitely inspired me in some ways while I was setting up for this planner. And they were free, like I said. So I decided to use it. But I think next time, if I do have a color palette, I will just make a calendar myself that match the colors of the kit, or buy stickers that match the colors of the planner, not the kit, sorry, but the color palette that I'm using. But yeah, it was one of the most difficult things that I've ever had to do when it came to like setting up for this planner. I couldn't figure out the right way to put things down, and even though I measured things, it just looked really bad. I pulled the stickers up multiple times, even with measuring it, and ripped up the paper. Like, January looks a little rough, as you can see here. But I figured it was all right because I'm not going to be flipping to this page very often, I don't think. I don't really use like a year at a glance very often at all. It's just there kind of for aesthetic reasons, so it's okay. Like, look at June. This column right here looks okay. January, April, July, and October, and then February, May, August, November, like this middle column, she's getting a little, she's derailing a little bit, right? And then you get to this and it's, I don't even know what's happening. So yeah, let's ignore that. Let's talk about my tabs. So these tabs were a printable from a shop that I will definitely put in the video. And they were pretty easy to put on. It did take maybe up until like the middle of the year, so like June was when I realized that I could put the tab down on one side of the page, flip it over, and then fold the tab in half to kind of like make it stick on the other side. I don't know if that makes any sense, but these tabs weren't perforated like in the middle, so it was a little bit challenging to kind of like fold them down at first. But I figured it out in June. So this just looks kind of off, but it's okay. Like, the beginning of the year looks a little bit off, but they're there for functional reasons, so I guess I don't really mind. As long as I have the tabs, it doesn't matter. And this is my first time putting tabs on a planner. My Hobonichi cousin that I used previously didn't have any tabs, so yeah, I wanted to do it up this year, and I love this planner so far. So yeah, I have a monthly, a weekly, the days or the months, and then a notes section. There's also a yearly tab that I didn't put down because I realized the yearly tab was for this section here, like these sections here, and I just forgot to put it down because that would have been the first tab. So that is about my tabs. And then for my this page here, which is like an overview, is that what people call it? I don't know. I'm using it for a habit tracker. I'm keeping it pretty simple, not really decorating it, just kind of using pen and highlighters if I really wanted to. But yeah, like I said, I'm using it as a habit tracker. And then for the bottom column here, I will put like important dates, just because I don't really use calendar systems very much. I don't really have a lot of things to plan for. I'm sure that will change once I find a job in the medical field. That might change. Like, I'll start putting in paydays and more bill dues probably and all of that kind of stuff. But otherwise, this is working for me. I just put like the habits that I'm tracking for the month on the top section, and then I'll X them out as the month progresses. So that is how I plan to use these pages here. So it's this page, and then the second half of the year is on the next page. So like I said, I don't use calendar systems very often or at all really. So I decided to do something different this year, and it's almost more like a challenge for myself. But I wanted to make a doodle for each day of the month. And I started on the first week and kind of fell off on this week here. We're already on the 19th as I'm filming this. I'm pretty sure it's like midnight now. But yeah, I wanted to fill up the calendars with the doodle that highlighted the day. And that is how it's looking like, using just pen. Maybe as I go along, I will start like coloring them in. But for right now, I felt like this is fine. I did start using a pencil to kind of like sketch things in, just because I was like messing up on certain parts, and I was like, all right, let's not just eyeball it and let's sketch it out and then go over it with like a Tombow or something like that. So going into the weeks, I guess I can kind of show you guys how I've been planning. Whoa, you get calendars for 2025? I didn't know that. So here's December. You get January, February. Oh no, February and March. So it goes up to March in the calendars for this planner. But anyway, so my weekly plans have been looking like this. I will definitely make a few videos of me planning in my Hobonichi in the future. So for right now, this is just how my weekly spreads kind of look like. I definitely use stickers in this planner. I kind of want this planner to feel a little bit like a junk journal, but also a functional junk journal, if that makes any sense. So this is the first week of the year. Getting into the second week, I absolutely love how this turned out. I think it's so cute. And these stickers, so this sticker kit and the one that I used here, oh, I think it's from the same sticker sheet, but they are from a sticky sub that I got maybe 3 years ago, and I finally came around to using them. But yeah, so these are from Sticky. And then this is the current week that I am planning for. It was a more low-key kind of week or whatever, so there's not really much that I'm putting in. But the sticker sheet that I'm using is from Pusheen, and once again, it's from Sticky Club. I'm thinking of resubscribing so that I can have a bunch of like these stickers and also support like small businesses and all of that. But yeah, like I said, this week was more low-key. I didn't really do much of anything, so I kind of blocked out some days and used washi on a bigger portion of the week to kind of like block out a lot of space. And then we get into my dailies. So I did get this planner a little bit late just because I was very, very late when purchasing my 2024 lineup. But I did settle on the Hobonichi, and I have a couple more planners that I will share on the channel as well. But so I started journaling from the 9th onwards. So this is how it's kind of looking like so far. So yeah, and these are stickers from my shop, and that's how it's looking like. And then this is from a sticky sub. I even have the sticker here. It's from Blue Bean, which is really cute. I love this art style. And then sometimes I'll just use washi and pen. I'll doodle a little bit sometimes. This is from Temu, I'm pretty sure. And this is a like pamphlet thing that I got from my Hobonichi package. And I felt like it was nice to kind of like highlight that my Hobonichi came in and all of that. So that is how my daily journaling things have been looking like. I really love this process so far. And then going into my notes, I just have a bunch of swatches on my highlighters and stuff, so I can kind of figure out what it is that I like and what it is that I don't like when it comes to like matching colors for like stickers that I use. Now for the pens that I am obsessed with in this planner, definitely are the Tombow brush pens. So of course I use the Tombow brush pens. And then I use a Paper Mate pencil. What's it called? Mechanical pencil. And then I have my Tombow Fudenosuke in the hard tip. And then for more flexible kind of pens, where is it? I don't even know where it is. So like if I want to fill up more space or whatever, then I do have the Tombow Fudenosuke in the soft tip. And then I'll use my Pentel Touch brush pen as well. But for writing purposes, the Zebra Sarasa Dry in 0.4 has been my go-to. I absolutely love it. I did test out some other pens here, but unfortunately, I don't really like them. Like the drying time isn't that great. I do have the Uniball 1 in 0.5. And then this was the Uniball 1 in 0.7. This is the Zebra Sarasa R in 0.4. Unfortunately, I bought it in like a blue, which I actually really like the color, but I wish I got it in black. I got it on blue in accident. I think this might be my second favorite because it did have a pretty good drying time. And then the last one that I tested out was the Pilot Friction. Is that what it is? Yeah, the Pilot Friction ball pen. And the reason why I don't like it is because the ink isn't very dark, which I love dark inks in my planners, so that was an issue. But otherwise, that is how I'm basically using my Hobonichi cousin for this year. I did get the Japanese planner just because it was the one that was going to come to me the fastest. And I don't really mind that it doesn't really, like, I can't really understand it. I don't really mind at all. And then of course I do want to use the My 100 page functionally as well. I already wrote one of the things that I absolutely love, and that's Mineko's Night Market, which is a really fun game. I'm thinking on this page, just because I don't understand anything that's on it, I will but I'll just put like pictures of like the year. Is there 12? So there's like 12 boxes here that I could post like pictures and stuff like that, and maybe I'll actually translate what it says and I'll put something that matches whatever it says. But otherwise, that is how I'm using my planner, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this setup. If you have any questions, let me know down below, and if you want to see more planner videos like this, let me know down below as well. Hit like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next one.